Don't be afraid to really crank on it to the point where you can't. Hey guys, today we're going to be working on Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift from Raw Thrills. I got a couple of these for a decent deal, so right now I'm in the process of taking the CRTs out. Here's one of them right here. And putting these flat screens in. Only because I need these CRTs for Lycon games. So, like Buck Hunters and stuff like that. These are good CRTs. It's the same one they used in the original Big Buck Pro and Safari and stuff like that. So this is as far as I got. I'm starting to clean them up. I got the front panel here. I got the two chairs. They're in okay shape. You can see that this one's got T-molding that's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be chrome. So there's this chrome T-molding is pretty hosed. So at least on that one we might change it. If you look around back, these are actually two different runs. This one is serial number 2400. And this one is serial number 4900. So there's a pretty big difference in, difference between when these were manufactured for some reason. You can see the differences. This is a way earlier model. And let me get this open. You can see it uses the old computer. The newer ones have like a Dell. And it also, the more modern run has all the I/O boards mounted on a metal RF shield. This panel here is metal. And on the old one, it's just mounted right to the wood. So there must have been issues with that. And then this one gets all of its power from this computer. There's some output power here. It comes out for the I/O board and a few other things. I think the only thing that's powered is the motor with this transformer. On the older units, there is actually a separate power supply, and it runs the I/O boards. And there's also the transformer for the motor, I believe. Just soaking wet right now. As you can see, that power supply sticks out the back. The more modern unit, there's just a 12-volt fan. And on the old unit, the fan is at the top, which someone mounted upside down for some reason. And this one does not have the original monitor. Or maybe it was a MacVision. This is a MacVision monitor. And the newer one was a Wells Gardner. So, and they made sure you knew right there. So this is about where I'm in. This one boots fine and everything. I've kind of vacuumed and cleaned in here a bit. And I cleaned the top of it a bit. You can tell the difference. And so I'm going to take this computer apart and clean it out. Check the caps. Kind of go over these controls a bit. For some reason there was like a ton of dirt in these bolts on the other one. Like it was just full of dirt. So I don't know if this thing was in a barn or what. And we're going to remove this and put LEDs up here. So there we go. And you can see that they mounted a card swiper on here. That's why these holes are right here. Not much we can really do about that, except for change the door, I suppose. So yeah, this is about as far as I've got. I got these this plastic cut, which will actually go on the front here to protect the monitor a little bit. And then I've painted so you can't see the the metal of this monitor frame and stuff. So I painted the back of the other plexi. It should look pretty nice. It's going to be kind of squished a little bit, but it's the way it is. And these are the HAP. Got a pretty decent deal on these HAP monitors. These are like usually $400. So there we go. I will check back with you guys once we get a little farther, and we'll come right back. All right, I got our plastic painted and installed. You can see it right there. Looks pretty good. You can see a little bit of silver. Not too happy about that. I got the front of the game back on. I got the bolts installed. And I also put an LED light inside of here, which I'm going to wire up around the back. Right now I just have this wire coming down right here. It's kind of just hanging wherever. And we're going to tap into the 12 volts here for the light up there. I got the VGA connected, and I need to work on the AC power. We're going to use the original monitor power connector here. I have cut this cable here, right there. And I'm getting ready to extract the pins out of this fluorescent. I'm going to reuse this connector here. I'm just going to take the plastic piece off and then repin this with some new Molex pins. So I'm going to do that, and I'll come right back. All right, there we go. I got our power cord all pinned out, and this goes into the monitor. So let's go ahead and put that in, maybe, if I can get over here. Got some big mess in here today. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to hook up power right here. I can do this with one hand. There we go. Nice and neat. Double check the wires, look pretty good. And then we're going to connect this to the monitor back here. Sorry about the light, guys. Just want to look at the connector. Like so. I think I'm going to do something with this remote. Has it got a magnet on it? Usually these things have a magnet to it. Yeah. We'll just kind of leave that stick on there like that. Hope I don't need to use it. I'm gonna let this stuff heat up a little bit more. All I really have to do to this game is I'm gonna wire up the lights, which isn't that big a deal. I'm gonna take this computer apart and clean it out, and see what's going on, reseat some connections, check the caps, and it's awfully cold out here. Take a look at these pedal assemblies and things. Make sure all their parts are still there. Looks like they are. Okay, so we got our monitor installed. It's hooked up. We'll see if we can get this thing warmed up a little bit more, and we'll turn it on and see what happens. Hopefully it works. And go through the coin door, just make sure that's all good. Clean it up some more. Keep cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. There's a lot of cleaning to do. I still have to clean. This is all popped out for some reason. I have to clean that up a little more yet. And then once we're done with this one, we're going to repeat the whole process on that one. So there you go. I'll come back when it's working. We'll see you then. All right, I got this computer open. Getting ready to clean it out. So far I don't... That's kind of suspect, isn't it? That's probably okay. This computer is not quite as old as the other one that we're going to deal with. We'll give it a good clean, and I'll reseat this side card here. That thing sometimes is a problem. The video card's mounted sideways. We'll clean out this power supply the best we can. Still kind of wet, actually. Yeah, it's pretty dirty. Yeah, so that's the bad thing in wintertime. Everything is kind of moist. So I really can't do a whole lot of work out here. Well, we'll do a lot of cleaning and what we can to let this thing dry out. So, all right, I'll come back after I made some more progress. All right, we're making a little bit of progress. Lights came on. Computer boots. Looks pretty good. I played a game. Everything is working. Right now I'm working on putting locks on. Cleaning up this, cleaning up in here a little bit. I put coin door lamps in. We're gonna go ahead right now and see this loose. This wheel right here is loose. See that? That's not good. You can see it kind of wobbly. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten this up. I'll show you how to do that. If you leave this too long, it'll come right off eventually. People will steal it. So, so this one is pretty much almost done. So let's go ahead and take that wheel apart, and I'll show you how to tighten that up. And I'll come right back. All right, the first thing we got to do here is we got to remove this cap right here. You can see they got security Torx bits in there. So you're going to need yourself one of these security Torx bit sets with the holes in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that cap off real quick. I don't know if I can do it in one hand. Probably not. Maybe. We're going to go ahead and take this off, and I'll come right back. All right, you can see we got that off. And now what we have to do is remove these Allen nuts in here. It'll be 1, 2, 3. This is important to keep orientation of the wheel, so you know where they go. You may want to make a little mark in here if that helps. But if you put this part on wrong later, it'll be sideways. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen those up and take this wheel right off. Sometimes they're really hard to turn to get off. So you use a vice grips like this, and you just kind of, give it a good old crank. Give yourself some leverage. There we go. We'll get her off, and we'll take a look at the next part. And finally, we get to our culprit. It is this nut right here which is causing the problem. See, turn it. See how loose that is? And it's got a lock washer, but it loosens up over time. So eventually it will come off and ruin the threads and stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna tighten this up. If the lock washer looks really bad to me, I will replace it. If you're having problems where this just keeps loosening it up, replace the lock washer that's in there. But for most cases, we're going to use a good old-fashioned 3/4, I think. Yep. Make sure you use a socket and not any other kind of wrench. We don't want to strip this out, because if you have to take this off and this is all stripped, it sucks. So make sure you use the right socket at the right time. You gotta turn it all the way to its position and then just give it some good cranks tight. Don't be afraid to really crank on it to the point where you can't. That's nice. There we go. And give one more for good measure. Oops, wrong way. I mean, don't overdo it. You don't want to snap this thing off. There we go. A little extra one in there. And about a year or two, I'll have to do that again. But you can put some Loctite in there. When we put the wheel back together, I will Loctite these right here with the red Loctite. And it's just a matter of putting it on the way it was. So if you see we turn it, there's the stop, there's the stop, there's the stop. So this line of 2 bolts is straight, like that, because the wheel, you look at the wheel, the top has got a flat 2. You see that right here? Oops. 1, 2 right there. So we want to kind of look at this. That's the other stop. There we go. So when we put the wheel back on, we want to make sure that this piece is at center. You can see that this would be center right here. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and Loctite up those bolts there. I'm going to use the vice grip method to tighten them up pretty tight. And then once you're done with that, you can wash the cap. I kind of wash that cap off. And then I put those screws back in too. So we'll get that done and we'll come back. All right, you can see nice and tight. The only thing that's moving now is the whole game. When you're putting this cap back on, make sure it's, that it reads correctly. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to. And don't over tighten these screws either, because it's just plastic. That's why they have a lot of them. So gonna go ahead and keep cleaning on this, but it looks like we're almost done. Just more cleaning, that's all. Well, the only thing I have left to really test electrically is the light that's underneath this seat. I think it's an incandescent, but sometimes I'll put an LED bulb in there just for the heat purpose. A lot of times that little color lens that's in there is totally hosed. So I'll put a red LED light bulb in there. We'll see. It depends what bulb they used in this. I know the bikes, they use a regular CFL light bulb, so I really can't remember this. I know they use like a halogen or something right here, like a little neon, not neon, but a little mini fluorescent. So, all right, I'm gonna pretty much finish up on this one. Still have to clean up there. It's just all cleaning. So there you go. Thanks for watching.